Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Beluga Whale and welcome back to Why Did I Win? Now I know it's been a while since we had a Why Did I Win episode, and long story short, we're going to have a new schedule for the new year. If you want to know more about it, you should check out my channel update. I'll leave a link in the description below. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about the Fizz game. You guys might have seen some highlights from it in my previous solo queue highlights episode. And the runes are this, and here are the masteries. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Okay, so here we are loading into the game, and we're actually almost in the game anyways, but as usual when you're loading into a game, you want to take a look at both teams and then try to plan out your early game. Now this game was actually a very quick game. I think it was a surrender at 20 maybe, but basically I carried this game pretty hard, not trying to be rude or cocky or anything, but that's just what happened. So I figured it'd be a good gameplay for the Why Did I Win? If you noticed by the runes and masteries, they are kind of weird. I took some extra armor on my blues, and the reason for that is just on Fizz. One, you don't need, I think I used to have cooldown there, you don't need that, and then two, it really does help out your early game. Your first clear or two is kind of rough on Fizz, but then it gets pretty easy after that. So here, our team's invading the enemy blue just because we have a TF, and TF's really good at invading. And the enemy team's also invading because they have a Blitzcrank, who, as I said, is also very good at invading. But as for what lanes I should gank, the enemy team has Shin top. Shin's really easy to gank, but the reason is because he's a tank, obviously, so it's not that good to focus on Shin. Basically, it's not good to focus on champs that don't have a potential to carry. So I don't want Fizz or Shin to get out of control, but I shouldn't camp him a lot because, like I've said in all my tank videos, a tank is a tank no matter how behind they are. And then mid lane they have Ahri. I really hate ganking Ahris, so they're level 6. So before level 6 I might gank Ahri, and then if I get fed I might gank Ahri too. But if we're just both going even, I really don't want to gank her. I start red on Fizz because I didn't want to be invaded by Volibear. I didn't know if he was starting his blue or whatever. But unfortunately my bot lane stayed a little bit too long at the red. I forgot to tell them, it was my bad, I forgot to tell them that what you want to tell your bot lane is auto it 3 times and then leave. That way they won't miss any CS, and the reason I start a buff on weaker junglers is just so I can secure both my buffs and get level 3 really easily. The easiest way to level 3, if you didn't know, is to kill both buffs and raptors, and that gets you level 3 at pretty good health. So, since TF got a kill on Ahri, solo kill, which is pretty good, and bot lane did die, so I'm gonna have to go bot lane pretty soon to make sure Vayne doesn't snowball out of control. I ganked top just because I was in the area, because obviously I cleared my buffs. However, there's no reason for me to really stay around top or try to contest anything. I wasn't at that much life anyways, and Volibear does of course have an execute on his W. And like I said a few minutes ago, there's no reason to really camp Shin. It's not going to go that well even if you do. So now, as far as item build on Fizz, obviously you want to go Runeglaive when the new AP item comes out, which it's coming out pretty soon. You would go it and then probably rush a Lichbane. Sorry, I couldn't remember Lichbane for some reason. Here, I'm gonna get bot 1. Our bot lane has a pink ward, and 2, the enemy bot lane, I didn't want them to snowball, remember, so I come bot. The Vayne comes to ward this bush without Blitzcrank. That was her mistake. She shouldn't really be walking up alone up here, even though she did have Volibear. I go ahead and jump on her. My bot lane wasn't really in position to punish her, but my TF comes down, and that way we get both of Vayne's summoners. So already it's a pretty good gank as long as we don't waste that many summoners in it. And we got a Blitzcrank flash, so we got 2 flashes and a heal. Overall, that's pretty good for our team. And now our team's just going to try to get some extra damage on them. Ahri comes in, and alright, I rewinded it. So Ahri's coming down, and here Volibear gets his passive, and I think Volibear, I don't know if this guy plays Volibear a lot or whatever, but, oh, and my bad, I forgot to turn off this and chat, sorry. Okay, I don't know if this Volibear plays Volibear a lot, but as soon as he gets his passive up, he tries to flash back in, and that's really not how you do it. You need to let your passive heal you completely before you come back in. So he flashes and flips the MF. However, as soon as Volibear is flashed, he's pretty much a free kill, and then Ahri's not level 6 either, so she's not going to be that hard to kill as well. So really it was just kind of a not the best idea on the Volibear's part, no lie. TF didn't have any mana. He had just enough mana to W, but what I can do is slow with my E, because as you know, Fizz's E does slow. And oh yeah, I think I was going to mention this earlier, but as far as maxing, you max E on Fizz because it lowers the cooldown very significantly, and being slippery on Fizz is more important than having extra damage on your W. But here we killed the Ahri. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to slow it down. We killed the Ahri, and then I'm just going to leave because I'm only level 4. I don't really want to risk doing the dragon because the dragon could do a lot of damage to us, and then the enemy could contest and kill us. So we get the Ahri, and we're a little bit ahead from that. Basically, that gank set me up for more ganks bottom if I'm going to have the time to go down there, because remember, both bot laners flashed, and Vayne already used her heal. So I'm going to come bot. This bush has a pink in it, so I'm going to try to come sit in it. However, unfortunately, Blitzcrank gets the ward right before I get into it, so he's going to see me. But remember, Blitzcrank doesn't have flash, and Thresh hits a hook. So as soon as Thresh hit a hook, this Blitzcrank was pretty much dead. I'm going to go ahead and take that. Fizz is in no way not a carry. No matter how you should build, you build him AP in the jungle, and he is a carry. Now, you don't always carry with him, but you should never worry about kill stealing people. You know, if you can get a kill, you should take it on Fizz. So now it's just back to jungling. I'm pretty far ahead. I think I can probably afford my jungle item when I go back. My TF wants blue buff, and when you're playing jungle and your mid laner wants blue, but they're gonna back, like I could tell this TF was gonna back because he started to recall and then he said, no, I want blue. If they're gonna back, tell them to back before they get the blue, because they'll waste half of blue buff backing, and then that just doesn't help anyone. So I tell him to back. I'm gonna start the blue, and then he's gonna come get it when he comes over here. And there we go. We both use our icons. Fizz, I got a lot of games on Fizz on that one patch where he was super OP. You guys know what I'm talking about, where the AD Fizz was the best thing in the game. And then I haven't played him that much since. I play him mid sometimes, but I do like him a lot. He's probably one of my favorite champions to play. And here, I did have enough for my Rune Glaive, so obviously I'm going to get that. And next, I'm probably going to be building Zhonya's. So that's what I was going to get to about the new items later. If they... Alright, so here... We'll rewind it. I want to talk about the items before we talk about this fight. So when the new AP items come out, because I don't know if you guys are going to be watching this. I know this is going up on New Year's. Oh yeah, by the way, Happy New Year's everyone. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. But when the new AP item comes out, I'm not sure if you're going to want to rush Lich Bane after you get it, or if you're going to want to rush Zhonya's, because Zhonya's is very, very important to get on most AP junglers. Like Echo, you have to get it first. Fizz, you have to get it first. Not necessarily Elise, but... You know what I'm saying. So I'm not sure if it's going to be worth getting Lich Bane first. And if you are watching this in maybe a month or when the new AP's item has been out, you can of course ask in the comments and I'll tell you what I think at that time. So here, I'm going to do Scuttle. And then Volibear comes... She's ulting. Volibear comes... You guys couldn't hear that. Never mind. Anyways, Volibear comes to try to deny me, but my team's here and... We do have a lead over them. We have quite a significant lead, and also our TF is coming down. So I'm going to go ahead and start this fight. I Q over the wall. I'm going to E the Volibear, and then we're going to kill him. The Blitzcrank ate up the whole Misfortune ult, so he's going to die too. And then Shin ults in, but Shin wasn't even at full life before he ulted in. And we were already heavily winning this fight. Misfortune's ult makes it really easy, and then... Our TF was doing really well too. This TF actually, I said I carried earlier, and I definitely did well this game, but this TF also did really well. He did a very good job of following up on my ganks with his ult. And his name was... No, never mind, I was confusing something. But anyways, so we kill them all bot, and we push down the turret. I'm going to give this TF blue because even though blue is good on Fizz, one, my TF was doing really well, so if your mid laner is doing better than you, you should probably give them blue anyways, no matter what the champion matchup is. Unless if they're like Zed, don't give Zed blue. But anyways, he's doing really well, and also I don't have to have blue, you know, I can play around it. Really, TF should be able to play around it too, but I didn't want Ahri to somehow get a lead or anything off of this TF's not having blue. So we're going to clear the dragon, and basically the same thing happens here. I'm doing Scuttle again. Blitzcrank comes to contest it again. Thresh hits a good hook. I'm going to go ahead and Q over. I'm going to auto him. I have my W on and I have red buff, so both of those are going to burn him. Vayne's almost going to kill me, so I'm going to flash away. The Vayne tries to chase me down, but Fizz, she didn't get a crit. She didn't even have crit chance yet. As you guys probably know, Fizz's passive is that he takes reduced damage from auto attacks anyways, and I have a lot of armor on my rune page, so I'm not going to die from that one Vayne auto. And now it's just back to juggling. This game did snowball super out of control, but basically what I did was I worked with my mid laner. You know, you got to communicate with your team sometimes. That's just how you win. So I worked with my mid laner, and we got a lot of good gank spot, put a lot of pressure on the Vayne, and then yeah, we just really punished the champion matchup. So on Fizz, if you do want to play Fizz jungle, you really need to focus ganks on someone you know you can kill. Killing them's not going to be the problem, it's just if they're going to be able to escape. And when I say killing them's not going to be the problem, I mean damage-wise. Fizz does plenty of damage. As soon as you get Rune Glaive, you do plenty of damage. But if they're playing a really slippery character, like LeBlanc, I hate LeBlanc so much. Never camp a LeBlanc. Don't really camp an Ahri either, unless if you're... See, at this point, we're so far ahead that if I gank mid and TF stuns her, Ahri would die. So then that's okay. But, sorry, I was talking not about this through all this. So I come up here, we're trying to kill the Shin. That's our objective here, because Shin's already half-life, and as you know, Fizz's W is an execute, so this should be pretty easy. Then Blitzcrank walks up. We kind of had sight of him over here, but he walked straight into this bush. He didn't know we were here. Thresh hits a hook on him. I've got my W and red buff. Those are going to burn him down. And then I'm just going to Q him. And I think I saved my E here just because there's really no reason to use it. And my E is a jump over walls. So if you can save it, your E, since you do max it first, obviously it does the most damage. But if you don't have to use it, there's really no reason to use it. You know, there's no reason to waste your only escape just to kill someone on Fizz. So we kill the Blitzcrank. I shoot my ult at Volibear. Basically, as soon as TF came up here, once again, it was just TF playing really well along with me. TF comes up, it's going to be free kills. I did ult the Volibear, but he's going to get away because he had flash, and then we're just going to go to pushing. There's no reason for us to play risky at all. So if you guys are in a game like this where you're really far ahead, it's probably going to be very tempting to go for a risky play, like to dive these guys under this turret or something. But in the end, you really just don't need to do that. There's plenty of stuff we could do. We could go get Rift Herald and then Siege, and since the enemy doesn't have wave clear, none of them have wave clear except for Ahri, then we could probably get some turrets like that. There's still a turret bot that we could be pushing. Gangplank could split because of his ult and his teleport. You know, there's plenty of things to do other than dive. So unless if you know it's a really good dive, there's no reason to play risky like that. And here, my TF kind of gets caught by the enemy team, but he plays it pretty well. He almost gets away, and then, alright, well, let's talk about what I did. I killed a Gromp, and then I'm gonna leave. I guess I wasn't paying attention. I didn't see that TF got jumped on until about now. Yeah, so I turn around, I go up there, and here, what I need to do in this fight is Q Vayne once. If I Q Vayne once and my W's on, she's definitely going to die. Even if my W isn't procced, she might still die because I have a red buff. I need to kill the Vayne and then focus on the Volibear because Blitzcrank doesn't do damage and Shin doesn't do damage. So really, if I kill the Vayne, it should be easy. So I try to jump onto the Vayne, but she plays it well by running away. So we're just going to go ahead and focus down the Volibear. And as you can see, I'm doing absurd amount of damage right now. The enemy team tries to stop us from killing the Vayne. They do it pretty well. And Ahri comes in the back. We almost kill her. Misfortune actually got a crit on her. And then I get hooked, unfortunately. I use my E to try to live as long as I can. Misfortune wants to run away, which is fine. Misfortune played it well, because if she had stayed and maybe got one kill, she definitely would have died. And this chance, she at least has a chance of living. She does eventually die, but she played that fine. Basically, as soon as I got hooked by Blitzcrank, we were all dead there. So that was my fault. I probably could have dodged the Blitzcrank hook with an E if I was paying close enough attention to it, but I was pretty sure I was watching Ahri there instead of Blitzcrank. So, anyways, not doing bad at all still. I'm 5-1-5. The only thing about rushing Zhonya's is that they upgraded the cost. The cost is 500 more than it was before preseason, which really sucks, but honestly, I think that Zhonya's is so needed on Fizz and Echo that there's no way that you can avoid getting it. On Damage Echo, I was trying to go Rod of Ages first on him, because Rod of Ages is actually really good on AP junglers too, but my playstyle, I really need Zhonya's. If you don't think you need Zhonya's, you can try Rod of Ages, and Rod of Ages would be good on Fizz too, but as for me, I can't stand having not having Zhonya's. So here my team's pushing mid, and really this game's pretty much over already. Basically how we won this game was coordinating ganks with my mid laner really well, just communicating with him, talking to him in chat, and also he played really well and I played really well. So then here my team is sieging. I'm going to come up, try to flank. Volibear's waiting for me. We get in a fight. Alright, what I did wrong here was I didn't ult until I'd used all my other spells. If I had led with my ult, I would have actually beat this Volibear in a fight, because your ult increases damage while it's on them, right? So if I had led with my ult, it would have worked a lot better, but I didn't, so Volibear is going to actually beat me. I get away with almost no health. I want to help this Misfortune, but I'm just not in a scenario to help her. Vayne autos me and turns around, and since that Vayne turned around, I'm actually going to live here, and if you've seen the solo queue highlights, you know I kill her. But Vayne autoed me, and I dodged the auto with my E, and then since I dodged the auto, she's running after me. I've got the health pot rolling. I don't take that much damage from auto attacks, and then as soon as I see, because I have sight of these two right now, right? As soon as I see that they're not going to help the Vayne, I go ahead and E back onto her. Since my E landed, it was basically going to kill her anyways. I auto her a little bit, and she's going to die. That's just something to remember on Fizz. Your E does break projectiles, and by breaking a projectile, that means if it hasn't hit you yet, it'll just not exist once you use E. But things that it doesn't break, if Karthus ults you, you can dodge the Karthus impact. Actually, never mind. Damage over time, so it doesn't break. So Ignite, Red Buff, Liandry's, Malzahar's E, you know, any of that stuff, it wouldn't break. Here, my team's doing Dragon. Once again, like I said, this game's pretty much over. There's gonna be one more team fight, but at this point, the enemy team could have beat us if they hadn't got behind early, because they actually had tanks on their team and we didn't have any tanks. So once it got to really late game, they'd naturally outscale us, but since we didn't let it get that late, we're gonna be fine. Okay, we're gonna watch this again, because this was actually a pretty important fight. So I'm doing these wolves, and then I used my E. I knew that if I used my E, Volibear was going to jump on me. I wasn't really scared of the Volibear at this point, so I used my E, and then as soon as he comes up, I tried to Zhonya's to dodge the Q. But as you can see, as soon as I activate Zhonya's, he had already begun the Q animation, so he actually throws me in Zhonya's. And while that might have seemed bad, since Thresh didn't get out of Ahri's range, since Thresh is still here, it's going to work out really well, because then I'm just going to take the Lantern, I'm going to go back to Thresh, and then now over here, I'm actually in a really good position. All the enemies are getting slowed by Gangplank's ult and Thresh's ult, so all I have to do is clean this up. Miss Ahri was almost already dead, so I'm going to go ahead and kill her, and then I'm going to switch to Volibear. No reason for me to chase Shin here. I don't know why the video is lagging so much, but I killed the Volibear too, and then we'll rewind it for this Vayne as well. Okay, and here the Vayne's going to try and jump on me. What I do is I let her auto me once, because an auto attack obviously is not going to do anything. Even if she crit, you know, it might have done 100 more damage, I would have been fine. But then, as soon as she starts her E, you can actually hear, well, you guys can't hear it because you can't hear the sound, but I heard that her E was starting, and then because of that, I'm going to use my E once again. My E breaks projectiles, so it stops her from stunning me, and then at this point, she's pretty much done for. I shoot my ult at her just to slow her down so I can get an assist, and that's pretty much it. She dies. And now I'm pretty sure they're just going to surrender. So not only were the early ganks really beneficial for our team, but then just a lot of Fizz manipulation. Remember that your E breaks projectiles, so you don't have to play risky. And also, just communicate with your team. Oh, like I said, the main thing about Fizz is that you need to pressure lanes that are easy to kill. Oh yeah, and I killed the Vayne here as well. I forgot about this. Hit the ult on her. Then I'm going to go ahead and E. That does most of her life, and then I can just Q to finish her off. But anyways, the main thing to remember about Fizz is that you want to gank lanes that can snowball you and also have a chance of snowballing. So there was no reason for me to gank Shin. Even if I could have killed Shin a lot, there's no reason to gank Shin because he's going to be a tank no matter how much I kill him, right? And Vayne actually got an early kill, if you remember. She got one of the first kills of the game. So I really needed to go bot, make sure that Vayne wasn't going to snowball this game at all, and then help my teammates down there. So I know this game was really quick, but it was a game where I had a really large impact, and those are the kind of gameplays that I want to do for this series. Why did I win? I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to check out the links in the description, whether it's my Twitter, if you want to follow me there, or the channel update. You should probably watch that if you haven't. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had a happy New Year's, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.